I was a hero. Everybody in school was waiting for the break time and lunch time to come to my desk. My desk, half of the desk was books, the other half was cigarettes. I was a bad boy. I did my secondary school. It was not very pleasing to me because I got a D+. I found myself telling my fellow buddies that I want to be an accountant. And because they knew what kind of a person I was, they just told me, Mambo, wacha kucheza na Mungu. But I never smoked cigarettes. My name is Anthony Mambo. I'm an Anglican priest serving in the ACK Downs of Nakuru as a priest. Right now I'm located in ACK Oasis Naivasha as a vicar. And by God's grace, I'm also the archdeacon of the area. And when I'm being asked about experience, I would say I'm mainly because of the life that I've lived in this world of God, that God has given me to be here. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to be interviewed, and karibuni.
Wow, thank you. So let's begin with your childhood. Mm-hmm. Kindly tell us, what are the experiences you faced or memories you can share with us?
There are many memories in this world. Having lived for 54 years, definitely, I've got a story to tell. Mm-hmm. And I was born in 1969. I was born in Nakuru, Bondeni Maternity Hospital. We lived in Bondeni slums. Mm-hmm. But later moved to Rumumba, also a slum, mm-hmm. neighboring Bondeni. Then later we went to a place called Shabab Estate. Then after that we went to the farms. My dad had a farm in Kabazi, where I did my class 1, 2, and 3. My nursery school I did at Bondeni Nursery School. But for class 1, 2, and 3, I was able to go to Kabazi Primary School. But because of the influence of the town, mm-hmm. we did not feel comfortable in the farm. So we left our mother there. We went back to our dad in town because dad was working in the Ministry of Agriculture in town. And dad thought that the best thing now is to have another farm in Lanet. We had another farm in Lanet, mm-hmm. where he built a house for us there.
But then you're still in primary? I
was in primary. Okay. So I joined class 4 mm-hmm. in Lanet Primary School, where I did my primary education. And after doing my primary education, I also joined the secondary school in Lanet Secondary School, a neighboring school, neighboring the Lanet Primary School, where I did also my secondary school certificate. It was a good time, but definitely like any other young man, influenced by young people, doing many other things, joining the gangs and groups in in school and in the community. Sometimes it affected my education to an extent that I could not maybe achieve whatever I wanted to achieve with education. And out there I do many things. Out there I do business. And I was in primary school. I remember in class 8 I was selling success cards to the people who needed them. I would go to Nakuru with my bicycle, come and sell them. And then in secondary school I remember I started using the army boys, the young people who were coming from the army barracks, to bring us a cigarette from AFCO, and then you'd sell to those people in the student in the secondary school. But not go well for me because I remember one day I was caught by one of the teachers. And anyway, that's another story for another day. Whatever happened at that time. I did my secondary school. I got the point I got. It was not very pleasing to me because I got a D+. That's what I got. And I thought, what do I do next? I thought that maybe I could become an accountant, and I went to my father after he asked me, what would you like to do? I said I want to be an accountant. Mm-hmm. But my older brother was an accountant, also the Minister of Agriculture, Minister for Livestock and Agriculture. And he said, no, you cannot be two accountants in this stage. Let's diversify. And they say the best thing for you to do is do a technical course, because definitely, even if nobody ever employs you, you can employ yourself. Yeah. So they took me to do a mechanic course, and I opted for the outer wiring. I did the outer wiring for 2 years.
So were you forced or you agreed?
No, the choice they're giving me as parents. So I had no otherwise except to agree to go and do it. I had no problem with it. Okay. I went to do the outer wiring. At the same time, my dad, because he was a painter and a sign writer with the Ministry of Agriculture, whenever he got other different jobs outside, he would go with us and train us how to be painters. So I remember as I was waiting to join the college, the training in Kenogo, Juakari, I would get some jobs and be able to do some painting. I remember I would paint also was another way, but he would not want me to paint. He thought that outwarding would be better for me. So that is what I went to do for 2 years. And when I was in the Juakari, Kenogo, that is when I started looking at life in a different perspective altogether. I looked behind. We were 4 friends in secondary school.
Okay, wait. But then you used to be a bad boy.
I was a bad boy.
What about the business of selling cigarettes?
I left you in the secondary school now because when I went back home, I would buy and sell to the people in the village. But then it was not a long-lasting thing because people advanced. There was strictness. There was nobody for me to send there. So I stopped doing that job. So it was just something to let my life move on in life.
Okay.
In Kenogo, I think.
And have you ever smoked since you are the seller?
That is the funniest thing. I smoked bang, but I never smoked cigarettes. You can see the fun. Why did I not smoke cigarettes? Because if I smoke cigarettes, I would not be able to sell. Be smoking. So for me not to give them and to do business, I'd never smoke, so that I would never give anybody any cigarette. So I was selling. So because it was a business, I don't do it. But I remember another friend of mine who was called Harrison. He's also born again and a reader right now. I think he's also doing a Berea. He's doing a theological college right now. He was a guy who was also providing for the bang in school. So definitely, I think with bang I was able to smoke. I would say I smoked that one. I smoked bang, but not a cigarette. I also did drugs, but drugs was a new friends in class.
But okay, sorry. I think you can selling bang is expensive than cigarette. Why cigarette and not bang?
I feared to be arrested. I feared police. So I wouldn't dare do that. I wouldn't dare do anything that would take me to cell. Yeah, even today I've never gone to any cell. I fear that one. Because of that, I dared not do it.
Well, yeah. But you used to be smart.
I feared very much about being arrested, and that's why I never tried to do that. But later maybe I did other things that would have brought in the issue of me being arrested, but God was on my side, for example.
Okay, but then this feeling, like maybe that when you're selling cigarettes, banging, in such things, there's that pride inakuja. How ulikuwa una feel aje, like people watu wanajua?
I was a hero. I was a hero. Everybody in school was waiting for the break time and lunch time to come to my desk. My desk, half of the desk was books, the other half was cigarettes, and nobody who ever knew that I was doing it in school.
So you used to threaten people, like?
I didn't threaten anybody. You just buy loyalty.
Okay, definitely. But then you said ulikuwa secondary. Hakuna mtu amewai report any case such?
No. What you do, we had a kiosk outside the school, whereby we would go and buy some bread. I think it was 2 shillings, if I'm not wrong, that we would buy a bread. So you just, as you buy because you got the money, you buy the bread, you make sure that prefect also has a bread. So you buy the prefect. So if you buy the prefect, then your life moves on, and nobody will dare go and say that you are doing a business in school, because definitely if the prefect is on your side, then you are safe. And I remember at that time, I don't want to mention the name of this prefect. He was also, I think he was also a smoker, but a very hidden one. So he would get some favor from me. So nobody would dare say what I'm doing.
Okay, by then ulikuwa unaogopa wazazi if that report ingefika kwa mzazi, kama you used to be a don't care, you don't care really?
The kind of the job my dad was doing in the Ministry of Livestock and Agriculture, sometimes he was moving around. He would go to every ASK show in Kenya. So sometimes he was away while with my sister, and my mom was in the family in Kabazi. So you find that sometimes it was me and my brother and my sisters who were at home. So nobody dared also tell them what I'm doing. So they were busy people that sometimes we did not have that time to be together. Yeah, so at home, I don't think even they ever knew what I was doing. I don't think they ever knew what I was doing. So that is the way it went. Then when I came out of school, I remember before I joined the Juakari, I went to Kabazi to do some farming. And I remember because there was issue of changa bread around that area. I also did some changa brewing and so to people. And I remember I also took some. I remember I almost became an alcoholic, but I thank God because I think God had a purpose for me. I was pulled out from that place and taken to the college. That is how I was saved from the issue of changa brewing and all that. Then I went to town. When I went to town, the thing that happened to me, number one, I told you I had 4 friends. One was called Harrison. We called him Rasta. Let me call the nickname Rasta. Another one was called Carlos Jejako. And another one was a lady by the name Susan. And me, we were 4 of us. Carlos happened after finished school. He was taken by her sister to manage the matatus. Harrison, or Rasta, was taken by his father to Kericho Teachers College to become a teacher. Susan was taken to, can I remember, there is a college, I'm forgetting the college also, is a teaching college in Nyanza, to become a teacher. So we went different ways. And one day, as I was in the garage, one of my colleagues came there. He had got a job with an NGO, although as a cashier, but now he was moving around with those people. And he ignored me, like he doesn't know because I was wearing the aprons, the oil, and I was dirty. The guy just ignored me. And I started seeing that, that's the time I came to realize that I think I got my life to live, and I forgot about the friends. So the other friends went their way, nobody came looking for me. I never went looking for them because now we were different status, our classes in life. And that is when I came to realize that I was desperate in life. I remember one day, after coming from the car wash every evening, near our home, there was a matatu parking whereby people would park their matatus. I would go and do the car washing. And I remember one day I came from the car wash about 1 a.m. at night. And I was so down. I wasn't born again. I knelt in my bed and I cried. And I told God, I think, God, I want to know you. I'm desperate. I want to know you. Okay,
so despite you doing all those things,
selling
cigarettes, smoking, such things, bado ulijua kuna Mungu?
Yeah, my mom was in the church now. She was in church now. My dad was also in the church now. And we had now my sister also was in the church. But I knew there was God because my mom would always tell us, now, mnaitwa kanisa, they want you to go for youth service camps. I would refuse. I would refuse to go to them. But I remember after praying that prayer and crying to God, I remember it was somewhere in January or so. In the month of April, there was a youth weekend challenge in our parish. It was ACK Dondori Parish. And my mom had been told, please go and tell your children, campaign for us, they go. So she came to me, persuaded me, why don't you go for this camp? You need to go this camp. And I remember, I thought, let me go. It was just another adventure. And, I always remember what my mom told me, that we are giving a lot of food. Who is going to eat this food? So I always think I was going to the weekend church to go and eat the food that my mom has provided.
Yeah.
So it was the issue of just going and eating the food because the parents are provided for the food. Let me go. We walked from Lanet, somewhere we call ADC. We went to a place called Grised or Kiongororia, the other side of the Nakuru Nairobi highway.
Yeah.
We had a weekend challenge starting from Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. The preacher preached. The guest preacher preached. I remember he was a man by the name Reverend John Gashoka. He was a student in Berea by that time. He wasn't ordained yet. He preached. Up to today, I cannot tell you what he preached. I don't know. But when it came to the time of the calling, the altar call, I found myself telling my fellow buddies, I had other buddies now already, I was a good person in making friends. I already had 2 buddies, I was somebody, Peter and Mode or Jackie, who were very good friends of mine. And I found telling them, you know what, I'm going to be born again. And I woke up. And because they knew what kind of a person I was, they just told me, they called me Mambo, wacha kucheza na Mungu. Don't joke around na Mungu. Please don't do it. Mchezo.
wako hapo kukujaji. Maybe usikie kidogo kidogo unakulanga sadaka ya kanisa, ulionekana sijui na nani wapi, mlikuwa mnafanya nini, hawajui, they don't know what business gani imewaleta hapo.
People think that the work of a pastor is just preaching, taking a Bible and saying some few verses. When I was given another opportunity to go back to class, I remembered I lost an opportunity for my life in secondary school. Abuse me, say anything you want to say about me, go spread rumors you want to spread. I'll never confront you. You just said, all I will say that there is a God in heaven who knows me. Ministry, to many people's eye, ministry seems to be very enjoyable.